Alright, hey guys, this is going to be my second part of my 30,000 mile P-Tuning Turbo Kit update. So I just want to cover some of the wear items that you could expect on this kit with these amount of miles. Um, Overall, it's held up pretty well. Haven't really had too many issues. Um, it all comes down to installation, to be honest, how well you install it. So first and foremost, I'm going to cover all the piping. Um, Piping coming from the top all the way through down to the intercooler and etc. All of that piping has actually been really good. There hasn't been any issues of it chafing anywhere. I haven't ruptured any lines or any couplers or anything like that in the front especially. Now you'll notice I have this little rubber piece right here. That's because last time I installed this I was in a rush. And then notice I have one here too. I was in a rush and I didn't want any chafing of these couplers. But you can actually adjust all this so it doesn't do that. This was just before I did a track day and I had everything off. I had to get everything on really quick. But if you take your time, you don't have to do this. But this is just so I don't have any bumping and so they don't touch. But next time I take all this off and put it back on, which is going to be pretty soon, there won't be any clearance issues. I did have one installation failure on my part, and the first 2-inch pipe that comes into the 2.5 inch, I did install it at a little wrong angle, and what happened was, there's really not much light here, but there's this little clip, can't really see it, let me grab a flashlight. Alright, so there's a little clip that holds the wiring that goes to the transmission, or just kind of a little bracket that is usually comes, yeah, it's right where I'm shining my light. It's gone right now, but I had that bracket there, and that was chafing, but I ended up rupturing the pipe on the bottom just a little bit. I had to take that off and get it TIG welded. But that was a fault on my part. But it is tight clearance in there. Otherwise, there's been no issues, and it hasn't even touched the transmission ever since. So as far as the piping, the charge piping, that's about it. I mean, it stays relatively clean. There really hasn't been any issues at all. What else can I talk about on the charge piping? I think that's it. Yeah. Alright, so let's move on to the next update. I had the P-Tuning Laminova oil cooler, oil to water. I'll try and toss in a photo real quick. That worked okay. It actually was really good for street driving. However, on the track days, it just couldn't handle being in high temperatures for too long. In California, I think when I was at 100 degrees outside track day, I couldn't go for more than, I think, 10 to 15 minutes. My oil would hit 250, and that's where I'd start to back off. I've since switched to a Setchup Series 9 15 row, just an air oil cooler. Obviously, the oil takes longer to heat up, but I'll throw in a photo real quick as well. But this allows me to go much further in hot track days. I can do 15-20 minutes no problem, and my oil won't pass 250. What else can I talk about? Overpipe. Now, the overpipe, I had ceramic coated as well, but the ceramic coating just doesn't last. I had it done twice already. My overpipe, in some cases, it does tap against the subframe down there. Not very hard and not very often. I only think it's like under severe rocking of the motor. But you can't see it right now. But underneath this black subframe, it does tap. But I think the new overpipe should give me better clearance. Now, for the intake of the V1, the 4-inch coupler that goes right here, that tends to chafe a little bit on the V-band, but it's never ruptured for me, at least. So I've been okay there. You can see I've got that fiberglass wrap, the header wrap right there. That's just because the ceramic coating was coming off and because of another problem of the V1 kit, which I will show you right now. I have to go into the car for this one. Alright, so I've started taking some of the car apart. But, so this is part of the V2. I've gotten rid of the electrical pump on the V1 kit, which used to be right there. But I've switched to the mechanical one, the same one that is used on the WRX 2015 and up. It's lighter weight, and it's just better, I think, overall in the long run. But this is their sump, the oil sump for the turbo. Actually works really well. Anyways, moving on. So this is the second part of the overpipe. And you can see it's very, very close to sway bar bushing. I had a track day where it was over 105 degrees, and I think after the 15-minute mark, I got so hot, and this is when I was running 100 octane, that I actually melted the sway bar bushing. And I'm not the only person that has melted this. I think a couple others have said they've melted this as well. So what PTuning has done is they've made a heat shield for this, and I need it if I'm going to run really hot track days. But that's why I threw this on, was to try and help mitigate that. Because the ceramic coating, as you can see, is just coming off. It just does not last. And I've had this done twice, you know, so it is what it is. Actually, 3 times on the header, the second time on the overpipe. So I'm excited for the new overpipe. It's thicker, so it'll hold more heat, and it supposedly has better clearance, which is good, which I want. And it has the heat shield. So I think the heat shield is an optional upgrade for track guys. You won't need it for street driving, to be honest. I've done some canyon runs and things like that, and without the heat shield, obviously, and I haven't melted it. You can see this car has 20,000 miles on it, and I've only done a short track day where it's like a 6-minute session on the track each time, which is not long at all. Not enough to get it too hot. So yeah, underneath the car, I've already started taking off some of the parts. This is where the wastegate goes, but underneath the car, there's been no issues. From the exhaust all the way back, which I started taking off, there has been no issues down here whatsoever. Moving on to the header, no clearance issues here. It actually runs great. No leaks, nothing. I mean, it's great. The V-bands, so this is the only gasket that you'll have is from the header to the 401 collector right here to this little piece, and then it's overpipe part 1 and then part 2, and then it's V-bands all the way. So you have a lot of adjustment. So V-bands are great. They don't have any leaks. So I think that's going to be it for the update, guys. I will start tearing apart my car now and get the new clutch in, and give you guys another update soon.